Hey guys, the sun is setting and I feel like I look quite nice. Like, oh my gosh, I look a little orange. And so I'm gonna do this quick video because I posted something from Nicki Minaj on my Instagram and it reminded me of this blog post that I had written, and it's on my blog. I will link it down below, called Connecting the Dots and Living for You. And also it just reminded me that I felt like I needed to do a follow-up. I was thinking about doing a video addressing kind of all the negative things that have ever been said to me from people whose opinions I actually cared about, because I think so often people who are your friends are really not going to be the ones to support you, especially when you start out doing new things. I don't even to this day get a ton of support from people in my close circle with regards to my YouTube channel. I think they kind of like pat me on my back and say, good job, you know, my gosh, you've come so far, but they're not watching my videos, they're not engaging me, they're not really promoting me, and I don't expect them of that. But to the point, Nicki Minaj tweeted, "No one will put in work with you, but as soon as there's success, they'll appear with long essays on IG about how much they contributed." And this is so true in the idea that you fail alone. When you succeed, the bandwagons will fill up. And I reposted this on Instagram and Facebook with a link to the blog post that I originally wrote called Connecting the Dots and Living for You, as I said earlier, and I put it down below. What happened was I had some friends at the time sit me down for what I determined was a lunch intervention because they felt like I was just doing all the wrong things and wasn't getting a job because I lacked a work ethic, and they felt that it was in their place to sit me down and tell me about myself unrequited, without request. And yeah, 3-4 years later, is it 3 years later? It's 3 years later. It took a long time for me to get over with it because one of the girls I really looked at as a close friend, to the point where I had told her, you know, I don't let a lot of people in because I feel like every time you let somebody in, when they walk out your life, they walk out with a piece of you. And I remember she's like, oh, that's so true, that's so deep, yada, yada, yada. So I thought she understood the level at which friendships exist with me. And I just never saw this shit coming from like this group of women. In total, I lost 3 friends from this, and they just always were like my good time crew. And so I was so just in a state of shock, and to this day it's still kind of just like boggling. Like, how does this happen? Like, I'm not smoking crack, I'm not sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that walks down the street, I'm not asking you for money, I'm not sleeping on your couch, I'm not eating your food. So, I mean, it kind of after the fact, I put it together, like every time we went out, they would always insist on paying for me, and I'm like, even when I had money, I'd be like, you know, no, I'm good, I can pay for this. I'm going to post the email conversation to follow up to the original blog post. So the Connecting the Dots one explains the situation, and I'm going to post the email that I sent to them, but I'm going to read you the response that I got from one of the women. She says, "I feel that you obviously took our friendly advice and turned it into something totally what it was not meant to be. You asked us for examples, we gave them to you. You chose to explain yourself. This is not what the other girl and I took you to lunch for. It wasn't to throw anything that you have told us as friends back in your face. It was to give you suggestions on your work ethic when it comes to corporate." Mind you, both these women at the time were in their 30s and still pursuing their bachelor's degrees. "Yes, I do feel like sometimes you have your head so far up your butt that you believe people owe you a hookup just because you know them. Yes, I also feel that your head is so far up your butt that you automatically think you belong in a managerial or executive position. We came to you as friends to pretty much tell you that yes, sometimes you have to work hard in one setting for years to get to where you need to be. No, someone is not going to hire you because you know them or you're cool. Yes, a lot of times you have to listen and follow first before you automatically believe you become a leader. All these things were advice and suggestions, not to hurt you in any sense, but because you were offended by what friends were telling you instead of taking it in. You became childlike to me. When you defended yourself, you became childlike to me. When you wrote that blog, you became childlike to me. My name. No one is not calling you an adult. That's a title. But when the perspective of others leads to childlike behavior, then your title changes. No one is not calling you an adult. That's a title. But when your perspective of others leads to childlike behavior, your title changes. I'm not offended at all by the blog, email, or tweets. I'm more upset than anything. I'm upset that instead of actually analyzing what was said, you took it as if you were chastising you and actually took it personal instead of professional. And that you actually are in denial that most of it is true instead of just opinions. I would have been cool with, you know what, girls, I might not agree with what you're saying and I think you're wrong, but I'll think about it. You couldn't even do that. You blatantly took our suggestions for the you ain't shit speech. We came to you as big sisters, as your friends, not Mother Hen 1 or Mother Hen 2. I still hope that you actually think about what we talked about and not assume we are out to get you or control you in any way. This was sent to me 2 years ago by grown-ass women as a grown-ass adult. Part of the conversation was at the time I had worked at Black Hair Media for a while. I took the job knowing that Russell, or whatever his name is, ain't shit, and so the job wasn't gonna last that long, but I took it because I wanted to learn how a hair care website was run, and I learned, and I was able to start my own. And they took the fact that the job only lasted for 2 months and threw it in my face and said that I had lacked work ethic, I couldn't stay anywhere, and for some reason, they thought I was applying for managerial roles, even though the one position that kind of fueled all this was because one of our other homegirls had a position open in her department that was an assistant position, and I had applied for it. This is to say, without getting too much into more details, because clearly this shit still kind of gets under my skin, is friends will come and go. Sometimes friends have good intentions when they speak negativity or negative things towards you. I think people are scared of the familiar. We all have some of the same tools. Some of us just use them differently. And when people see you using things that they have in themselves differently, whether you are more vocal about something, whether you expose yourself a little bit more, and it's working for you, they get scared. That I don't get what's special about her sentiment. You don't get what's special about me because I have the same damn tools as you, but I chose to use them. Don't shade me because your lackluster life is leading you nowhere. We all go different paths. My path to success is not the same as any of my other peers. And in the same sense that I'm not going to sit here on Instagram and compare my life in 2D to somebody else, don't you dare throw your shit in my face. That's just how I feel about it. And it's crazy to me, you can't, as a friend, offer professional advice to someone when you only know them on a personal level. Ugh, that is that on that. But I just don't want anybody to get deterred, whether you're becoming a vlogger, a blogger, you're starting your own company, you're pursuing a new career path, you're getting into something that is not the typical because you are a black female and we are always expected to focus on one singular thing and have regular jobs and be corporate women and aspire to work for someone else. As black women, do not let somebody else deter you from pursuing things that are out of the norm for black women, because we still have a long way to go. And that is all the inspiration I got for you. I'm gonna go eat some chicken wings and watch March Madness with my own damn coin that I earned at my own daggone job as a web developer, because 2 years later I am still okay being me. Remember that, ladies. Just be you, and as Seamus Maya would say, do you, boo. And as I would say, they're gonna fuck with you now, or they're gonna fuck with you later. Later's just gonna cost you more. Alright, check the description box down below for links for anything that I write on this topic. I wanted to share with all of you. Deuces, ladies.